Welcome to 12D Synergy, 12D Model, Administration, Integration for version 4. There are more features in version 4 for 12D Model, and this includes some administration items to help manage 12D Model inside 12D Synergy. So now in the Administrator tool, if you have a look down the bottom, we now have a 12D Model Projects area. Before we have a look at this, we're going to have a look at setting some 12D Model attributes. So up under System Attributes, come across to 12D Model Project Attributes. In here, you'll notice that attributes created or inserted here are for extra information to be associated with your 12D Model project. This example shows 3 attributes. Note that the top attribute is in normal font, while the other 2 are in italic font. Normal font requires a value, whilst italic font indicates that a value is optional when the 12D Model project is created. To add or create attributes here, simply come down the bottom and hit the plus button, and you can create a new attribute or add existing. Let's have a look at the ones that are created here already. The first one being the 12D Model project type. So I'm going to hit the edit button. You give it a name at the top here, display name. You'll notice that this type is using a list type attribute. It is not optional. And then down the bottom you add your list, and the list will match potential 12D Model project templates. In this case, I've got one for a road project, one for a drainage project, and I've added a third one if I don't for selection if I don't want to use a 12D Model project template. When you've done all that, make sure you hit save and close. The next attribute is the 12D Model approved by. You'll see that this is using a user type attribute, and it is optional. This means that when it is approved, whoever approves it clicks in the value field and their username will be inserted there. Likewise with the approved date, it is using a date time attribute. Again, it is optional, so that when it is approved, the person who approved it simply clicks in the value field and the date and time will be added. The next step is to create a 12D Model project template. So the first part here is to create 12D Model projects you wish to use as bases. In these projects, you can include setup files, extra subfolders with information or data in them. For example, they could contain standards or 12DA files. So I recommend you keep this in a library job. So I've got a library job here, and down in my 12D Model area I've got my 12D Model templates. So I've created a drainage one. In here you could include things like your standard drainage.4d file. I've got a road project here as well. In here you could include things like standard chains that you might use. Also, I've got a couple extra subfolders for extra information. When you've created those, set the attribute values to match. So in this case, my drainage project has the value drainage project. The road template has the value road project. In version 4 for 12D Model integration, you can also control the names of projects or introduce naming rules. And to do this, you'll require some more attributes. So in the administrator, under System Attributes, go to All Attributes, hit Find, and you'll list all your attributes inside 12D Synergy. Now I've already created these, so the first one I'm going to look at is the 12D Model type. So to create, and you can create your attributes directly here. Well, let's go and have a look at it with the edit. So again, this is a list type attribute, and it's going to put prefixes on my project depending on what type of project I'm going to create here. Close that. The next attribute I created was one called 12D Model Zone. So again, this is a list type attribute, and it has a list of potential zones I could use. And the third attribute I created was one called 12D Model Description. And it is a simple text attribute, which will allow the creator to add a small description for the project. So now we can come back down in our administrator tool to the 12D Model Projects area. And on the first tab here is where we create our 12D Model Project templates. You can see I already have a couple added. To add a new one, you simply hit the plus button, and then you can come and fill out the details on the right here. Well, let's have a look at ones I've already created. So I've got a road project template, so you enter the name here. Then on the next line, you hit the browse button and you browse to where your road template is in your 12D Synergy client. Then if you wish, you can introduce a naming rule. So this is what I created these attributes for. You can use the build button and you can add those attributes in the order you wish. Of course, the attributes that you create will depend on how you want to name your projects. The next step is to come down further to the Match Attributes tab. In here, you'll have to hit the plus button and you can add your system attributes. Because the 12D Model Project type is a system attribute, we select that and then select the coordinating attribute value. So I want to match Road Project to my Road Project template, so that when I select this value, it knows to use this template with this naming rule. When you've done that, make sure you hit save, and then you can hit plus to add as many other templates as you wish. I've got one here for my drainage template as well. So how does this work? Well, if we come down to a project inside our 12D Synergy, I'm going to use my Emu Park project, go to where I create my 12D model projects, and we're going to create a new project. So right click on the folder, go new 12D model project. So instead of filling out all this field now, I simply come straight down to the attributes area, select 12D model project type, and select the corresponding template I wish to use. So let's create a drainage project, for example. You'll see that the name builder attributes get added now, and I can simply go and select what I need. So there's the drainage prefix, we'll make it zone 1, and we'll give a small description. Let's call it subroads. So as I fill that out, you'll notice that up the top, my 12D model temp project, it gets named for me. And then I can hit the create button. There you go, create successfully. And there's my new 12D model project that has used a template, so it'll have the right settings information in it, and it also conforms to a naming rule. Back to the administrator now, and we come to our second tab, which is Ignore List. Now, due to 12D model being a managed folder, any changes to the folder automatically get saved when checking in. This includes items like temporary and log files, for example. They get created during the use of the 12D model project. These can add up and are not necessary to the operation of the 12D model project. So by adding them to the ignored extensions or ignored directories, they will not get uploaded when checking in the 12D model project. So these are some of the ones that come shipped with 12D Synergy. To add more, simply click in there and add your extension required. You can see you can use wildcards as well. Likewise with directories, just click in that field and you can add away. When you're finished, make sure you hit save down in the bottom right hand corner. And we come to the settings tab. So all the settings have been located here now for 12D model. And the first one is our default customization. And there are three options here. Dynamic works as version 3 did. You can use a 12D Synergy path, but it doesn't allow for files that include the hashtag silent includes, like line styles and symbol files. The second option here is to use the current local customization. This setting assumes you are keeping a local copy of your user folders, and you keep them up to date manually. For example, you potentially may use a relative path to point to your user and library files, and they are kept close to your working projects. And the third option here, this is the big one with version 4, download customization at 12D model startup. This will use a 12D Synergy path to look for your user folders. However, it will automatically download everything to your workspace upon the 12D model project being checked out. This means if a file or files are uploaded, they will automatically update the next time the project is checked out. Just note, this also means that your files like the line styles and symbols that have that hashtag silent includes, it will now find them in your local workspace. The next setting here is reference check files in 12D model projects. This is default checked on. It performs a check for references like shared models and tins when 12D model projects are brought into 12D Synergy. For example, if 2 or more projects are brought into 12D Synergy at the same time that are sharing models or tins between them, 12D Synergy will maintain the sharing links. So always a good idea to keep that one checked on. Default environment config file path for 12D model projects. This helps reduce browsing to find your env-config.4d file all the time, and you simply just copy and paste the path and file name into there. So for example, you can browse to your library area, wherever that file may exist. There's mine. You can copy and paste this path. So grab the path, and then I'm going to add the file name onto the end, so env-configs.4d. And you'll notice there's no save button at the bottom, but when you click away and click back on the settings, it retains that setting there. The next one, track multiple devices for 12D model sharing. You'll notice it's turned on as well. This is for users, potentially more so for surveyors that have possibly a computer in the office and then maybe might have a second device like a laptop or a tablet that they use in the field. Both devices have the same login, so 12D Synergy checks which device actually has your 12D model projects checked out. So a good one to leave checked on as well. And the last one here, exclude job attributes when checking in manage folders or 12D model projects. This is defaulted to off. This is so if you have a file attribute on your folder, those file attributes don't get applied to all the files in your managed folder and don't ask to be updated. So let's have a look how some of this customization might work. Just going to close down the 12D Synergy client and restart it so that the settings take effect. Let's go to Emu Park and let's open up one of our 12D model projects. So this project here is already checked out, so I'm going to hit open. You'll note here the configuration path and the configuration is set. So we go before we go open, actually I'll just come back and I'll show you the workspace location. So you can see the user file is already there, so let's go and delete that. And let's open up that 12D model project with the configuration set using the new customization setup. So as it opens and checks out the project, it will check for our customization as well, and because they're not there, it will re-download them to our workspace location. So there we go, our project is just opening up, reading the models. There it is. So let's minimize that, and you'll see in our workspace now that the user folder and all the setup files in it have been re-downloaded to our workspace.